Hello, hello. Welcome back. Gemini Sun and Rising. This is, and hello to Mio. Oscar is also here. They may be in this video. So Gemini Sun and Rising. This is your reading, your tarot and oracle divination and psychic channeled message for the next 6 months, so the remainder of 2025. This is the purpose of this message, Gemini Sun and Rising, is to support you, the being that is in the archetypal energy of Gemini, if that is your sun or rising zodiac sign. This is to support you in aligning with your highest timeline for the next 6 months for the rest of 2025. So, as I said, I will be using my tarot cards but first I will share the channeling that I already did and scried here, wrote down for you, Gemini Sun and Rising, that I channeled about a week ago, that I have here in my journal. And I will start with that, and then we will go into the tarot to help us to dive into this message a bit more, as well as the oracle to end and affirm this message for you. Okay, so thank you to the archetype of Gemini. Thank you for allowing me, my vessel, my being, to be this channel for this message, this insight, this guidance and support for you in your physical reality here on this earth to come through, okay? And I trust that there is a message here for you if you are finding this video. And if you don't resonate, don't continue to watch. Simple. So, Gemini. Right as I was starting to press the record button, I was hearing nothing breaks like a heart. I'm often channeling messages and then they come through like songs that support me in going deeper into the message because of the lyrics in the song, okay? So, Nothing Breaks Like a Heart by Miley Cyrus and Mark Ronson. And particularly, I heard the line where she says, "Things fall apart, but nothing breaks like a heart. This world can't hurt you, it cuts you deep and leaves a scar. Things fall apart, but nothing breaks like a heart." Okay? And then I opened up my journal and read what I channeled for you, and I think it's quite fitting to the lyrics of this song, okay? So go and listen to that song and pay attention to the lyrics if and as you resonate with this message. So Gemini, I channeled for you that whatever you've been holding on to up until this point, drop it. Whatever you've been holding on to up until this point, drop it. It has something to do with last year in particular. It could be before that as well. It could be a pattern that you've had of I'm hearing holding a grudge or holding on to this like stance that you have had about particularly relationships, okay, and your interactions with others. But particularly here, I channeled that there was a particular scenario situation in 2024, last year, that gave you this idea, or this impression about others, about other people. It's not real. It is clouded judgment, incomplete information. You left out the part about yourself. And this could be what is clouding your judgment about relating to others. I'm hearing you're maybe not relating, connecting with yourself enough, that you hadn't been, okay? And then I heard the words sticky situation. It's a sticky situation. And then I saw glued hands, like two hands like glued and like trying to like undo from each other, but the glue was in between, and so much and so sticky, binding these hands. And then I heard stuck like glue, hands are tied. You believe you can't get out of it. There's something about you believing that this is just the way that it's going to be in terms of relating with others. I'm hearing this is more of personal relationships. I'm not hearing or getting that this is connected to work environments or family, maybe family, but I'm hearing it more as like friends and lovers, okay? That's what I'm hearing it more as. And you think, I'm hearing hopeless, you feel hopeless. But there are some roots here. You think you're stuck and that you can't get out of this, but like you're the answer, you're the solution actually. It's you being in your power, which means that you take responsibility for yourself and your own connection to yourself and what's happening inside of you. What is from your past, and we'll get to these roots, the past that is influencing this, that has led up to you having this belief about your interactions, your relationships with your friends and with your lovers, your romantic partner. So I heard next that it's time for you to get curious about the roots of your dismay or this mishap. And that the theme, your theme for the next 6 months is going to be reevaluation, reevaluating your values toward yourself, how you're valuing yourself in your fullness, and how are you valuing your relationships, how are you valuing others, and your especially emotional connection with other people, and like I said, with yourself. So the next 6 months are really going to, I believe, there will be sets of events. There will be particular connections, maybe that were part of this scenario in 2024 that was disappointing to you, that left you feeling hopeless, or like this is just how it is. This is how it goes for me in these particular relationships or this area of my life. I believe that there will be sets of events, and I'm hearing reconciliation that will allow you to go deeper, and that person also, or those people with one another, to go deeper into the roots and to talk about the roots of this dismay that you have. this struggle, this challenge that you have constantly had in terms of your emotional interactions, in your connections, in your relationships. So you are reassessing, you are reevaluating. And we're gonna go into the tarot now, okay? Interesting, I split the deck, and the first card in the middle is Six of Pentacles. So this is, again, it's about fairness, reciprocity in relationships. I'm hearing you get what you give. And so you've got to give what you get, actually. Are you willing to give? I'm hearing what you want to get. Are you willing to give it? Are you willing to give what you want to get? Gemini, next 6 months. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, this is indecision. This is actually the card of Gemini, actually. This is Gemini, and it's flying. This is Gemini energy, actually, the Two of Swords. There's like indecision, and it is because it's the swords, it's ruling the mind, the thoughts. So it's like head or heart with the moon here. It's about your emotions. And we have another Gemini card at the bottom. We have the Lovers. This is Gemini energy as well. Again, this is about your personal connections, in your love life. And underneath that we have the moon. Okay, so this is about your emotional connections, your love life, and your friends, your friendships, I'm hearing. And then the Lovers is also can be representation of your, it's this inner union. So it's your feminine and your masculine inside of yourself coming into union. And perhaps that's what's needed, that's what's necessary, because maybe you've been more in the head and not so much the heart. And you know what they say, maybe you don't, but your relationships that you attract, they really are a divine mirror and reflection of what's going on inside of yourself, what is ready to be accepted, what is ready to be acknowledged, what is ready to be embraced, or what is ready to be released. Okay, so there's something that you're feeling like, I'm seeing like a seesaw and like this teeter-tottering, like you're rocking back and forth with uncertainty, because your mind is saying one thing about how to go forward in these relationships, or with this person, or with yourself, and your heart, I think, is saying something else. And we have Temperance. Sagittarius energy, and another card of this, like, two, balance here. This is about alchemizing, transmuting perhaps what was really difficult for you, really heartbreaking, really just nothing breaks like a heart, really disappointing, like reoccurring disappointing and heartbreaking experiences and relationships with the Five of Cups here. In the past, perhaps I'm hearing abandonment, okay, feeling abandoned, thinking that you were abandoned, and perhaps you were, but honey, there's 2 cups still standing in the Five of Cups illustration, always. And it's that same energy of here of Temperance as they're pouring into one another in both of these cards. And that's about your inner union. That's about you being your own safety by embracing all of this, of the emotions, the whole complete cycle of emotions, and what they reveal to you about what it is that you really need from yourself and in your relationships. And I'm getting here, I'm hearing that you, Gemini, I think you've put the power, you've kind of given away your power, but you've put it a bit too much into the hands of the other person or other people. And it's kind of showing up in a way now of you have these like really high standards or really high expectations of others in terms of how they, I don't know, I'm hearing woo you, how they woo you, like appease to you. But again, I'm hearing this again of you get what you give, and so can you give what you are asking to get? And honey, I'm not even talking about just giving it to that person, but can you give it to yourself? Let alone anyone outside of you. What you're requesting from others, can you give it to you? You want, I'm hearing emotional intimacy, you want emotional connection. Are you giving that to yourself? Or are you, have you been shaming yourself for this troublesome, this challenging, this really disappointing past of yours in your relationships, in your personal relationships, friendships, and lovers especially, like I said? Do you allow the full, complete cycle of emotions, the sadness, the anger, the frustration, the irritation, the jealousy, do you allow this full ebb and flow of the emotions that come up in these experiences of your connections? There is an opportunity to shift your perspective with the Hanged Man over these next 6 months. Okay, and it's really providing, there's like some sort of offer. I'm seeing it as from the universe and from your highest self. It's providing stability for the long term. Okay, it's providing stability for the long term. Whatever this offer is, it could also be from somebody else, but it's going to require you to advocate for experiencing within yourself this new awareness of your own emotions and how much you allow yourself to go deep into this cycle of your own emotions and getting so curious about them and what they're pointing to, about what you lacked, what you didn't receive in the past from other people and from yourself, what you actually need, desire, is being revealed through that anger, that sadness, that jealousy, all of it. But you have some sort of cycle completion that's taking place with the world, and this really long-term, it's slow, it's steady, but it's stable. So I'm hearing go slow with yourself. Go slow with yourself so that you can go slow with others, so that you can be patient with others as well. Because again, I was hearing this, and then here comes this card, 7 of Cups, that because your judgment has been clouded. Your judgment has been clouded. You haven't been seeing things as they are actually, because you've not you left out this part about yourself, which is how you're feeling really inside. What is the root of that? Okay, and it could be connected to your childhood with the Six of Cups here. That is influencing and has been influencing this clouded judgment. Something that you didn't receive. Perhaps in your family, perhaps it's been a thing within your lineage. Okay, with the Ten of Pentacles underneath here. Underneath the Six of Cups. And again, the Five of Cups is here. Okay. So some sort of disappointment perhaps within your family that has led to this clouded judgment of yours in your relationships with others and with yourself. One more here for Gemini in the next 6 months. I see you really healing, and I'm telling you, reconciliation. Three of Pentacles. This is a collaborative effort. This is a collaborative effort. You're not going to be doing this alone. Whoever you have been in some sort of scenario with last year, I'm hearing that toward the end of 2024 is when this happened. Within the last 4 months of 2024 is what I'm hearing, that there was this scenario when you met this person or these people. But I see you coming back together with these people or with this person. And there's a collaborative effort to, I don't want to say fix because I don't like that, but more so like be constructive, okay? And break down the, I'm seeing like old, like ruins, okay? That you all have, but now it's time to get really, really vulnerable. Get out of your head about this. Choose a new path going forward. Break down the old ruins of the mind, okay? The disappointments, you know, and thinking that you're stuck like glue, that you can't get out of this, okay? Breaking that down. The burdens of the past with the Ten of Wands here. And balancing, bringing things back into balance through collaboration, through saying, hey, you know, this is what I have been experiencing. This is what I observed in our interactions, and this is what I desire going forward. This is what has been, you know, happening for me over the past 10 years or 2 years or 5 years or 20 years or your whole life or whatever, because of this root, you know, this particular root that maybe you name. And I'm sure, I sense it here that this other person or these other people, they want to do the same thing with you. They want this authentic emotional intimacy and connection with you. And one of you have to go first. Somebody has to initiate this, is what I'm getting. And I'm actually going to get one more. Somebody has to initiate this. You can't be waiting around like I'm hearing again that you were giving too much power to others, but you weren't embodying, you know, this integrated being who is in tune with your oneself, but you wanted other people to do this with you. So you have got to be, like I said, willing to give what you're asking to get. And that may mean that you will have to be the one that goes first and says this vulnerability, that expresses this vulnerability with judgment. Look at her looking at herself in the mirror. And now I'm hearing Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. because this is a major cycle that you have the opportunity to end. And I'm hearing victim mode, okay? I'm hearing victim mode. But you have to be the one that makes that judgment call that says, I'm starting with the man or the woman in the mirror. I've got to be willing to give to myself first what I'm asking to get from others. And even if you don't know, honey, judgment is also about, you know, your higher self, your angels, your guides, your spirit team coming down, you know, and supporting you and guiding you. If you don't know, you call upon them and you say, I don't know, but I'm ready to know. So you guide me, you show me how to do this with myself so I can do this with others. Because the Ten of Cups is here. There's such an opportunity for emotionally fulfilling relationships, but it really requires commitment of that with yourself first. Okay, I see you like this coming home to yourself. Okay, this is about coming home to yourself. Yeah, the Star. Okay, through your embodiment, acknowledgement of all of your emotions. Okay, and the roots, what they reveal to you about what you have experienced and what you want and need to experience going forward. So this is, I see you really going slow. There's really something here about this slowing down that is so significant. Slow down in your physical activities, in what you're choosing, you know, to do on a daily basis. Slow down the thoughts, the mind, so that you can really tune into your body, so that you can really tune into your heart and hear it and feel it. And let it be your guide, your main guide, not your mind that tries to make logical sense out of everything that you experience, Gemini. It's about your heart now. And this is the case for all of us. I'm experiencing this too, and I'm not a Gemini. But this is the case for all of us. Jupiter entered Cancer and said, it's time for the heart to lead. And it's going to be like this for the next year and a half, and probably even after that. Now look at that. I craft my core desires with certainty and ease. Yeah. Okay. So this is about really honing in. You have to understand what happened in the past that has halted you from being certain and at ease about crafting these desires, expressing what you really desire, or halted you from really even knowing, having certainty about what you desire, what you need. Get down. Get down. Mio. Get down. Sorry, guys. Come on. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Okay. You have to understand what occurred in the past first. And then I promise you, you will arrive as long as you're willing to look. Don't run anymore. Look at what happened. Because you're not a victim, honey. You are the solution. You're the solution to your traumas, to your wounds, to the heartbreaks, to the disappointments. You're the solution. It's all about your perspective of your experiences and what you choose, how you choose to turn it into gold. Because there's so much wisdom in it. Love and intimacy flow effortlessly into my life. And this happens because you are doing and experiencing this with yourself first. That means that there's space for that to happen with ease. Nothing outside of you is going to be the solution. Not the next person, not a new connection, a new relationship. It's always going to mirror to you where you're at. Okay? We're wrapping up your message here, Gemini, with the last affirmation card from the Moon Oracle for your next 6 months. I trust the change unfolding in my life. And at the bottom, I welcome clear vision and inspired action. You're ready for a clear vision through your reevaluation of how you've been valuing yourself, and therefore all past versions of you and your experiences. Gemini, thank you so much for tuning in to this message for your next 6 months, the rest of 2025. May this land in the ways that you need, and that your highest self knows that you're ready to receive it. I will see you soon, and I have, yes, personal and private divinations open and available for the month of July. And you can reach out to me via the email in the description box below to schedule your personal session upon availability, as there are quite a few dates available, but not all in July. So just so you know, it is upon availability, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon, and thank you.